You know, we talk about activating muscles all the time, and it's super important to make sure that those big muscle groups that we're trying to use, the nervous system can't access. And while getting the glutes, the core, the lats, and all of those other muscles to be able to fire is super important, one thing that we typically don't talk about is tension regulation. Now, it sounds fancy, but it literally just means how much of the muscle are we allowed to activate and how much tension do we need? Think about this for a second. I want you to hold a fist. So, there's a difference in just closing your hands. And notice a movement is literally just holding a shape within your body, right? So this is the shape of my fist. And if I just close my hands gently, there's absolutely no tension. I can keep my hand closed for hours or days and I won't get tired. But all you have to do is squeeze a little bit harder. And notice the fingers tighten up, the forearms start gripping. So if you were about to punch someone, you better close your hand tightly in order to hit their face. Or if you're trying to grip something hard, like you're trying to pull a car or a rope or something like that, that requires a lot of tension, the harder you grip, the less it's gonna slip, right? We all know that. Now, if you squeeze as hard as you can, like you're hanging off a cliff and you're holding on for dear life, very quickly, that muscle is gonna fatigue. And we're gonna start compensating by utilizing not just the hand, but the forearms, the lats, the shoulders, the neck, everything all the way up to the toes to keep holding on for as long as you can until the entire body gives out. Now notice it's still the same shape. You're still holding a fist. And the issue with muscle activation is that most of the times when we're trying to activate 100%, if not more, trying to squeeze every single little bit of tension out of it. And many times, especially in regards to pain management, that extra 100% tension is actually what's creating the compensation patterns in the first place. So we end up using the wrong muscles to do this one movement. Because most of the times, we only think a muscle can be off or it's on. No, there's a whole bunch of everything in between, from 1 to 99%. That's where I believe we should learn how to regulate. So the next time you think about activating your glutes, don't just squeeze as hard as you can. Try to regulate that tension and see what happens. For example, I teach this glute bridge all of the time. You've seen this in some of my other videos if you actually watch them. Now, notice all we're gonna do is go into a band glute bridge over here, and all you're doing is having a band, you're pushing the knees out, and then you're driving your butt up to the ceiling. But if you're trying to just hold that shape as the knees are staying out, you're squeezing the glute, you're closing the ribs at the top so that the core engages. So notice you're exhaling, flattening the core, you're squeezing the glutes, and the hips naturally stop at this position because the core is preventing your lower back from arching too high, right? So this is the shape that we're looking for. This is that closed hand shape. Now, to increase tension, all you do is squeeze harder with the glute, push more air down so that you're keeping the core even tighter and pushing the feet down into the ground to get more tension out of this. So right now, I'm about 70%. But if I try to go even harder, notice my whole body has to tighten up in order to keep that shape. And you're just making it more difficult for yourself and you're activating more tissues. Now, that's what I'm trying to say, is that we need to learn how to balance that tension by doing things lightly but still feeling the right muscles. We still want that proper shape. And once you can get that shape, then work on trying to find that real squeeze or learn how to relax depending on what you need to do. Because in everyday life, we need to be able to chill and just do things like, doing the dishes, doing laundry. None of that requires 100% tension. But when we're working out and we're picking something heavy or life and death scenarios, we need to go past 100% sometimes. So learning how to regulate that tension and learn how to manage your body and learning how to control it, that's where true awareness is achieved. And when we're in pain, typically I recommend work between that 1 and 50 to 60% most. And then once you start owning your body in that range, then you can overdrive into from the 60 to 100% and stuff like that. But you never want to keep things going at 100%. You want to learn that you can calm down. Because most of the times, it's because we're always trying to get that 100% tension that we don't know how to relax. So see what your personality is like, see what you need to work on the most, and start from there. Andy Schaefer Movement Reborn. Hope that shed some insight in tension regulation and muscle activation. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Peace!